add the spätzle.
Oh, I do love the spätzle.
Oh man, yeah, I ate a lot of chicken.
So delicious, we were like, whoa. Oh, you smell great.
Hey, it's my ranch dressing.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
Redwood Credit Union offers personal and business banking, mobile access, and nationwide ATMs. It's banking for people who call this home and the future we're building together. Redwood Credit Union.
It's the national recognition for healthcare equality. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
Oakland International Airport. Now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week, account manager and restaurant review app creator Merced Gonzalez will share his beloved San Francisco eatery that not only rates high on his app, it has a very special place in his heart. And video producer and Bay Area native Taylor Mosley always has her eye out for new and delicious dining opportunities around the Bay that fit into her busy lifestyle. But first, organic grower Libby Batesel takes us to one of her neighborhood hangouts. Known for its locavore approach, this casual eatery marries the Italian passion and German traditions of its 2 owners. Benvenuti and welcome to Franchettis.
Welcome to Franchettis. I'm John Franchetti, and this is my wife, Cassine.
Hi there, welcome.
The approach that we take is pretty simple since we live in Sonoma County. There's so many different providers of vegetables, seafood, cheese, single-sourced meat, wine, of course. So we love using the different people for different things that they do.
Gotta be schnitzels.
I got started when I was a very young child. My parents had 3 restaurants in Germany. So my husband is Italian, so we always cooked Italian. We love Italian comfort food, right? Who doesn't? Starting with pizza, going into polenta, going into the braised cooking. I mean, it's just all awesome. And that's what we have been doing. But now we're gonna start the marriage.
Schnitzel!
How is the marriage of the food happening? Well, suddenly, now you don't have a spaghetti pomodoro or a penne pasta pomodoro. Now you're gonna have a spätzle pomodoro. So now we're gonna take the German component with the Italian component and we marry that, and it's delicious. At Franchettis, we love feeding people. We love big crowds. We have lots of big tables. People love to come here with 10s and 12s and, oh, we come with the 20 tonight. Oh, great, love to have you. The next thing is to create a German sausage pizza. How would that be? With cabbage or sauerkraut.
Libby, how did you discover Franchettis? It's a little bit off the beaten path, isn't it?
Totally.
Yeah.
I actually first started eating Franchetti's food almost 10 years ago. Isn't that
Back
kinda
at
weird?
Rosso?
Yeah, back at Rosso, right. They used
Right.
to own Rosso, and they used to go to the farmers markets, and they would bring their mobile pizza carts and make delicious pizzas at the farmers market, and they would also sell their house-made burrata cheese. It was so good.
So give me a German dish and an Italian dish, your go-to.
Sure, I'll go. These are my 2 go-tos right now. So we started with their German pizza. I don't know if you guys ordered this. It's their Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen. And we had a lot of discussions about the exact pronunciation of that. The German Flammkuchen was what we started with, and it's a delicious pizza with a really thin crust. Like this German crust is traditionally much thinner, and it's got a spread of creme fraiche and their in-house made sliced burrata cheese, and onions and bacon lardons, which is new to me. It's just really fatty, delicious bacon pieces.
Little chunks of bacon.
Chunk of bacon all over, and it was incredible.
Well, I'm going to get back to Italian for you.
Right.
And I'm going to talk about German with you guys. Did you guys have any of the German dishes?
Yes, actually, all we had were German dishes. We started off first with some craft cocktails, or they call them craft tails. And I had the botanical spritz, which is really fresh and crisp, and I really enjoyed it. It was sort of reminiscent of a white sangria, but not as sweet. And my husband got the popsicle, which is actually a creation of our waitress. So she had invented the popsicle, which is vodka with pureed strawberry and peach and topped with orange juice.
And Taylor, what did you start with?
I went all German.
All German.
I took the opportunity.
both of you.
There's not a lot of German cuisine where I am, so I took the opportunity to have some, I think der Grotten is what it was. Basically 2 sausages that come with mashed potatoes, whole grain mustard, along with German style gravy, which was really interesting.
I had the house salad. So we expected sort of a simple salad, but it was actually really good. It had pickled carrots and beets, feta cheese and walnuts, all on top of their like homegrown tomatoes and butter lettuce, with just like a hint of vinaigrette, which was a perfect balance.
Yeah.
We did our second course, which was the cordon bleu schnitzel. It was topped with ham and then butter cheese, and then a side of pickled red cabbage. When I first started eating it, it seemed a little dry, so I kept eating it to see if maybe the center was different, but it was sort of the same experience. And I asked my husband to try it out as well, and he agreed that it was a little dry. So I spoke to the waitress, and she was just wonderful about it. She apologized, and she recommended one of their house specialty, which was the beef rouladen. And it's a beef that's wrapped around mustard and onion and bacon.
That's what I had.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the potato pancake that came with it. It's crispy and thick and creamy on the inside.
Yeah.
I was looking for it as a side dish on the menu the whole time, and I was like, this should just be by itself with a side of gravy.
It was really good.
Potatoes and gravy.
Right, yeah.
You got to add the spätzle in the sauce.
Oh, I do love the spätzle. That was amazing. It was creamy and cheesy and nice smoky flavors, and of course bacon. We added the bacon, and that makes everything even better. So we really enjoyed the spätzle.
And did you have any wine to go with it? Because they have a nice selection of wine.
I did. I had a nice crisp white. It was a Gruner.
Great with this kind of cuisine, really crisp and minerally and tangy.
I did have the pretzel with pimento cheese on the side. And the pretzel is a little dry, but I did love the flavor with the pimento, so that helped it out a little bit.
Now, Libby, tell me a little bit about, you said you had a German go-to dish and then the Italian, because I want to bring in the Italian a little bit.
Right. My go-to dish there is their Italian piadinis. They make this delicious pizza crust and lather it with herbs and Parmesan and garlic. And then they do a salad which of your choice, and I go with all their different salads because I love their salads, but I chose this time their Caesar, which is a go-to for me because their dressing is so creamy. And so what they'll do is they take this warm pizza crust that they've cooked in the oven, and they'll take the salad and fold it into the crust and just cut it in half, and it's so simply delicious. The crust has like a crunchy outside, and it's still warm when you get it with the salad, and like a chewy, wonderful inside. And it just ends up being like a great go-to for me when I'm out and about. Like, I need a good meal that I know is locally sourced, it's gonna be healthy, it's gonna be made by people that care and are good chefs, and I know that where I'm spending my money, I'm putting it back into the local food environment, and I'm getting a good meal. That's
And an affordable meal.
Affordable meal, that's the other piece, yeah.
My favorite part of this restaurant actually is their vegan and vegetarian items.
Really?
Yeah, so I arrived during happy hour, so I took advantage of the happy hour menu and had lentil fries, which I basically was like, how do you make this? And they were like, we cook the lentils, we spread them out on a baking sheet, and then we cut them up like fries, and then we fry them, and so they have a crispy outside, and we serve it with a side of curry and ketchup. And I was like, this is amazing.
That sounds really good. I wish I would have ordered
They're
that.
good. Yeah, what I do like about them too is they do a lot of gluten-free products.
Yeah, they do.
I had the gluten-free crispy cauliflower. They just batter cauliflower in a gluten-free batter and then drop it and serve it with either homemade spicy ranch dressing, and that's really delicious. I will say that I have known that they always hire kind people. It says something about the owners to be able to attract those types of people into their business and
to keep them.
And to keep them.
Okay, Libby, this is your spot. Give us a quick summary.
Franchettis is a great spot for delicious comfort food made from mindfully and locally sourced products.
And Merced.
If you're a German food fan, order the spätzle and add the bacon.
And Taylor.
A great weekend spot that does vegan and vegetarian food unexpectedly really well.
All right, if you would like to try Franchettis, it's located on Dutton Avenue in Santa Rosa. The telephone number is 707-526-1229. It's open for lunch and dinner Tuesdays through Sundays and brunch on the weekends. Reservations are accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $35. If you're looking for umami-laden chicken that's juicy and flavorful, look no further than Taylor's pick, Aburaya in Oakland. Once inside, you'll find a punk rock-influenced restaurant serving Japanese fried chicken that's to die for.
I have an order for Justin!
This is a place where you can meet people, be friends. It's just like a punk rock, old-time dive bar environment. Hi, I'm Adachi, so welcome to my restaurant, Aburaya. And yeah, we wanted to do something fun, and I wanted to do some sort of music venue type business. Very, very casual. Like you don't have to dress up anything. We're friendly. We use thigh meat, so that has more moisture in it, so it's kind of juicier. And also, we don't do typical flouring, so we use potato starch. That makes it gluten-free too, so it opens the door to more people. We use shiokoji, so that is fermented rice, sea salt, water mixture that gives lots of umami when you marinate something. Wonderful ingredients. This is what I like music, great food, great people. That's all I need. I love it. Yeah, great.
This is not just traditional fried chicken.
Not at all. Most people, when they think about fried chicken, they either think about a soul food joint, your like local Chinese restaurant, or your Korean spot. So I always love introducing people to the spot for the first time. And then they usually go, oh my God, this is so good. They usually tell me later, hey, I'm at that chicken spot you told me about.
And it's soaked in sake and a fermented rice kind of coating. It is definitely distinctly different, isn't it?
That's one of the reasons why I like it, because it's actually more of a thinner coat than traditionally American chicken.
That's why I liked it too.
The karage.
Yeah, it was light and fluffy. There wasn't like gobs of batter in it. It was on point.
Yeah.
The chicken was juicy. It wasn't over fried. Oh man, I ate a lot of chicken that night.
Well, and you can order different sauces and rubs and
totally,
things like
and
that.
small
So
pieces
it's
and
not
larger
just-
pieces. It was really
Did
great.
what kind of sauces did you
We
get?
went with the orange aioli. That was a really good one.
A dry garlic rub
Right.
that you can do, or teriyaki sauce.
Sancho was
What did you
really
The Sancho, I
nice.
had that one too. That one was
We
great.
had to get it because the description said that it was a tingly sensation.
Yeah.
And so we had to see what that was all about. We
Yes.
ordered it and it delivered. It definitely had a nice little tingly sensation. And they all come with a little cup of miso ranch dressing, which I want to buy by the bottle and carry around everywhere.
Yeah, I want to wear it as perfume and just like,
Exactly.
You smell great.
It's my ranch.
Take it off. Delicious.
So we really, that was a winner. Everybody
was a winner.
absolutely loved the Sancho. We
Yeah.
also did the Japanese barbecue,
Oh, yeah.
which was a little spicy, not too sweet. And I really liked that there wasn't a lot of sauce on the chicken as well. Yeah, crispy on the outside, tender and juicy on the inside.
Right.
There
And
was
you
a-
can order 4 or larger
4 or
sizes.
8.
Yeah,
4
large
Correct.
or 8, whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
We did the kimchi sautéed chicken thigh. That was really, really great. Their kimchi's awesome.
Yeah.
And then they just sauté the thighs, so if you don't want a fried chicken option, oh man, that was delicious.
What else did you get besides the fried chicken?
Yeah, we had also the tater tots.
Again, a signature dish.
Right.
Fried chicken and tater tots.
Yes, and my husband always says that he just loves the hipsters for bringing the tater tot back. Because
I grew up with tater tots. for God's
Yes,
sake.
yes. And now, I have to admit that when it first got to the table, it had seaweed topping on top of nori, which I don't usually prefer, but once I pop one in my mouth, I forgot all about it because it just went beautifully with the tiny little crispy tater tots, and it had also like an orange aioli sauce in it as well.
And you can order with rice as a side or salad, right?
Yeah, I usually do the rice bowl, and it's great because it actually fills you up. I usually end up taking half of it home. So one of the things I love is that if you order a larger size, you can actually mix the dry and the wet seasonings.
And what's the dry seasonings that you get, the dry rub that you get?
I love the shishi. Okay. It's a tingle pepper. So basically when you eat it, you'll feel a sensation in your mouth.
The tingly.
Yeah, the tingly sensation.
It works.
It
Yeah,
does.
a new
yeah,
word.
that's my favorite. That's my go-to pretty much every time. So.
We're definitely going to go back. There was a big line. We got there right before the rush.
Because it's a self-service. I mean,
Yes.
you walk
Oh,
in, there's a line out the door.
Order everything at the counter.
Yeah,
you know, be prepared to bust your own table.
Yeah,
That's part of the experience. You know, it's a small little restaurant with just about 5 tables.
I actually
A
appreciate
lot of
that.
to-go orders.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But actually, I like that a lot about East Bay restaurants. They really are on point where everything is either recyclable, compostable, or goes in a dish tub, right? Nothing, there really isn't trash. Like, they really create that space. We got a bunch of cans of beer, because that was all you could drink there. It was
They had
great.
wine in a can as well.
Yes, they have wine in a can, too. It was great. We had a really fun time.
It is a casual vibe. I mean, Aburaya means oil stop.
Oil stop,
You know, and
yeah.
it is this funky. Actually, the chef plays in some punk rock bands, so there's this, you know, this
They,
real.
dress up like Japanese schoolgirls
Right.
and play in a punk rock band. Adachi, one of the things he really tried to do was make sure that you could get an affordable meal to counter all this overpriced San Francisco eateries.
This place is vegetarian friendly as well.
Yeah, we ordered the wasabi slaw. That was incredible. They really do get really fresh produce. Their stuff is really, really crispy, flavorful, and that wasabi they make.
One of the vegetarian dishes I had was the fried cauliflower, and I love it because it's lightly dressed and then fried, and so it has a little bit of a crispy texture on the outside, but it's very tender pretty much when you start to slice into it.
So if people do have room for dessert when they go there, what should they get?
The green tea chocolate cake. It's basically a double layer chocolate cake with a little bit of green tea frosting on the inside and on the outside. It's very soft, very flavorful, and it's just like a little bit of an extra something when you're ready for like a good time out.
Yeah, it was really great.
All right, well, this is your spot. Wrap it up for us, Taylor.
Aburaya, if you're looking for delicious gluten-free chicken with a lot of vegetarian options, this is the place to go.
All right, and Merced.
Tasty, trendy. You'll be drawn in by the atmosphere, and you'll come back for the fried chicken.
All right, and Libby.
Yeah, fresh, flavorful, and affordable.
All right, if you would like to try Aburaya, it's located on 17th Street in downtown Oakland. The telephone number is 510-502-7743. It's open for lunch Monday through Friday and dinner Monday through Saturday. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $20. Post your favorite food shots on Instagram with the hashtag Bay Area Bites and have a chance to see your food pics on the show. Merced's pick is very romantic and was where he met his husband on a blind date. They even ended up having their wedding reception at this Mission District Italian eatery called Locanda Osteria.
Locanda is a Roman-themed Italian restaurant in the Mission. Hi, I'm Melissa Reitz. I'm the executive chef at Osteria Locanda in San Francisco. We have several classic Roman dishes. Then we also change the menu as well. And this idea is very Italian, to use local product and to change it with the seasons. It's an osteria that has straightforward, really delicious food, and one of the most extensive Amari collections in the Bay Area. The wine program is also very extensive through all regions in Italy and also Europe. Basically, we say wherever Rome conquered, we can carry the wines from that region. Yeah, it's a fun place to come and eat and drink. You know, on the best nights, it feels like a really lively party. There's a live fire with the grill in the kitchen. And it's a pretty fast-paced kitchen with lots of energy, which kind of carries out into the dining room. We like to think of the Mission as a neighborhood in Rome so that it feels like a warm and welcoming, really fun place to come.
All right, before we get to talking about Locanda, this has such personal significance for you, doesn't it?
I had my first date with my husband at Locanda. We got married in 2016 and had our reception at Locanda. And we go back every year on our anniversary and sit at the same table.
Oh, that's a wonderful story. You like to hear stories like that about restaurants.
Absolutely.
So now let's get to what you eat when you're there.
Absolutely. So it's Roman style Italian, and it's a beautiful restaurant. When we go there, we usually start with the Church, which is a gin cocktail. It's one of their signature cocktails, which they had a few of them. You had one?
it too?
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet and tangy with a nice little like orange, hints in it.
Yeah, it was really delicious.
Yeah. It's a seasonal menu, so we were very excited to have our favorite starter, which is the Jewish style artichoke. And that comes out as a...
You had it as well?
I did. It was like one of the first things I saw on the menu. And it came out, exactly, perfectly roasted with a very aromatic herbs sprinkled over, and that lemon just pulled it all over the edge. Yeah.
One of the close seconds in terms of appetizers is the fried Castelvetrano olives.
Olives.
Yes,
The
they're
stuffed
stuffed with
Castelvetranos.
fontina cheese, and they're lightly fried with a little thyme on the top. You can just pop one right after the other.
Yeah.
And it's multi-courses, so you have your antipastis, your primis, and your secundis. So after the starters, we move into the pastas. One of my go-to favorites, carbonara.
Right.
And the sauce is a lovely toasted flavor with guanciale, the pork cheek, and it has such a delightful, like salty crunch at the very end. It's also in their bucatini, which is a really rich tomato sauce pasta, and it has
Pecorino?
Pecorino, yes,
Which is, again,
pecorino cheese.
A cheese of the Roman area.
Yeah, perfectly al dente pasta.
I actually got the carbonara as well, and I love the sauce. I actually would have preferred it without the little bit of ham in there.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a little extra salty.
Yeah, you know what? I actually think it would do well without it as well, but I
you know,
did like that little crunchy.
That invites drinking some of that fabulous wine that we were just talking about on their wine list, because it's separated by style. You know, if you want light and crisp or structured, you have a tremendous selection at good prices.
And the staff is really helpful in that way as well, as far as, guiding you through the menu, talking about the different wines and what would go well with whatever you're ordering. My main that I get emotional when it arrives at the table, it's the bavette steak. It always arrives perfectly pink and tender and juicy on a bed of fluffy smoked potatoes.
Smoked potatoes.
Yes.
My brother-in-law was literally licking them off the plate. It was so good.
You had that as well, Taylor?
We
the
did.
Smoked potatoes.
We had the smoked potatoes. So good.
Right.
We like to have a vegetable as well, and we have the carrots.
I was about to say, I really enjoyed the carrots.
They're really nice.
Man, they softened them perfectly and lightly roasted them. And that yogurt sauce, it was delicious.
Yeah, it was like on ricotta, and just
you
perfect.
can over roast a carrot easily, and some restaurants do, and this was wonderful.
We had also a fizzante, a fizzy wine that was absolutely delicious that we had when we were waiting for our table and we were having all our appetizers. Oh, I can't say enough how good the bread is. We had like an opposite meal. We had a completely gluten meal.
Nice.
They ordered 4 rounds of the bread. I was like, stop eating the bread. You're not going to eat the main courses.
Right.
So delicious. It was perfectly buttered, perfectly seasoned. I was like, I wish I could make this a pillow and just like.
It's a pizza bianca. It's
that bread is
coming out
magical.
like all the time. It's really tasty.
All right, desserts.
So we were rebels, and we decided to have dessert before we got to the table.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. We had
Awesome.
the chocolate slice with the walnut ice cream. So good. And the slice of chocolate is almost kind of like a piece of fudge. So it's thick, but it's also kind of creamy in texture. And then you pair that with a little bit of the walnut ice cream. It's like, we were like, whoa.
I don't usually have room for dessert, but if I do want something, the affogato corretto
That's
is
right
a classic, simple dark espresso with the pure cream gelato it's a perfect ending to a splendid dinner.
And you had the affogato as well?
Yeah, we did. We did. And a round of espressos on our way out the door. We were headed to a concert, so it was perfect to have a little bit of a lifter on our way out.
And you all mentioned service. Was this?
Yeah, great service from beginning to end. I've never had a bad experience there.
This is not an inexpensive restaurant.
It's not. No. And but they have like everybody from the hostess to the waiter to the bus people. They're all
engaged in the meal, for sure.
making sure you have a wonderful time.
All right, your restaurant. Wrap it up for us, Franchetti.
Wonderful Roman-style Italian cuisine, perfect for an intimate date or for a gathering with friends.
All right, and Taylor?
Take someone you're trying to impress.
All right, and Libby?
Delicious food. Even just sitting at the bar for a good meal is totally worth it.
If you would like to try Locanda Osteria, it's located on Valencia Street at 17th in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-863-6800. It's open for dinner Wednesday through Sunday, brunch on Saturday and Sunday. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $50. I have to thank my great guests on this week's show. Libby Batesel, who celebrates the bounty of the North Bay at Franchettis in Santa Rosa, and Taylor Mosley, who savors the flavors and hip environment of Aburaya in Oakland, and Merced Gonzalez, who found love and amazing pasta at Locanda Osteria in San Francisco. Now, we really want to hear about your experiences at any of the restaurants we've been talking about. So keep in touch with us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Or better yet, post your favorite food shots on Instagram with the hashtag Bay Area Bites and have a chance to see your food pics on the show. And don't forget that you can watch any of the shows on our website at kqed.org/checkplease. It's where you'll find links to the restaurants and where you'll find my notes on the wines and libations we're drinking today. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sabraco, and I'll see you then. Cheers, y'all. Cheers.
Cheers.
Look each other in the eye. Gotta look in the eye, and you have to drink.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Oakland International Airport. Now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com.
It's the national recognition for healthcare equality. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
Redwood Credit Union offers personal and business banking, mobile access, and nationwide ATMs. It's banking for people who call this home and the future we're building together. Redwood Credit Union.
Cooking is the first kind of love you know. It was starting when I was a child, with my grandmother doing fresh pasta, and now I transmit it to all the guests. It's something made specially for them.
Oceana Cruises, proud sponsor of Check Please Bay Area.
Total Wine & More offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.